One of my absolute favorite things about being a full-time content creator is that I constantly get to use my creative mind to reinvent the things that we do, whether we're here on YouTube, on Twitch, or any other platforms we end up using. It's truly the most fulfilling part of it. This has led me through many drastic changes for the last little while, but there's a few in July that I really want to take a moment to touch on. My name is David Orr, otherwise known online as Gaming for Hope, and I'd like to welcome you to another monthly update to my content creator journey. Before I dive into all of the changes that have occurred throughout July, I want you to take a moment, just click the subscribe button for me real quick and ring the bell right next to it, and be sure to stick around to the end of today's video so that you can give me some help on some things that I could really use your help on. Right at the beginning of July, we started something called Game & Gab. Game & Gab was designed to kind of allow people to enter into a queue and ask me a ton of different questions that spanned a variety of topics. So long as they were PG, I was cool with it. These could be questions about my faith, my personal life, streaming, YouTube video creation, all kinds of things. As long as it's PG, I was pretty much down for whatever. And that was one of the things that I decided to go ahead and take back, because after doing it for a couple of weeks, it just really wasn't that fruitful. We had a couple of cool conversations, but they were not that fruitful. We had maybe 2 or 3 people that were the same 2 or 3 people both weeks asking fairly similar questions, and it was to the point where I'm like, maybe this isn't the right time for it. So we'll definitely bring it back, but it's going to be a little bit further down the road, so look forward to that. Another thing that I did in July is I took some time off for the 4th of July, and you guys know I'm a huge advocate against taking time off unless you absolutely need it, but it's the 4th of July. You gotta celebrate America. All jokes aside, what I did for the 4th of July is I spent some time in a very little village called Howe, Idaho. No, really. Howe, Idaho has a population of less than 500. It's literally a village. The beauty of spending time in Howe was that I really had the opportunity to disconnect from everything content creation related, as well as social media, to really get some time to recharge, refresh, and come back ready to rock and roll. Another thing that in that process I realized is that vlogging is just not for me. The short condensed version of why I decided to stop vlogging is that it was taking away from the experience that I was vlogging. For instance, if I wanted to vlog the 4th of July fireworks, I was taking away from the actual experience of the fireworks because I was so focused on getting the video shot. If you'd like a little bit more information on that, just click the card real quick. That'll take you to the video that I made here on YouTube about that in more detail. We also saw the gaming community of live streamers come together and raise a ton of money for St. Jude. I was not part of this, but I do feel it is noteworthy to put in this video because it was $4 million, by the way. So yeah, those of you that say video games can't possibly do any good, another part of my journey as a content creator has been my health overall, particularly really though my physical health. I don't know if you realize this, but a lot of and most content creators that are full-time spend the majority of their day sitting, and because of that don't get a lot of physical activity. In July, I am proud to say that I was able to record that I dropped 8 pounds and also took 25% of the time away from my mile run. I went from 16 minutes and change to 12 minutes and change. It was an absolutely mind-blowing month for that, and I have to say, those are some accomplishments that I am very proud of. I also want to take a minute and mention that I backed out of going to college because God really convicted my heart of something, and I want to take just a second and share that with you. What he convicted me of is that his plan A is always better than my plan B. What I mean by that is I made my own plan B to God's plan A by going to college. My mental, thought process on this was that if streaming didn't work, which is God's plan A in my life, then I would move on to going to college and getting a degree that would give me a quote real job, which was my plan B. After God really convicted my heart of that, I chose to submit to what he wants in my life and decided to withdraw from college. And of course, there was a little bit of backlash from that in my IRL friendships because they were all very proud of me for finally doing things that were quote real, and that is what it is. But I'm very proud to say that I'm following Christ still, and that's really the only opinion that matters to me. In July, I also decided to stop making the other videos that I was making, minus this one, and start doing Twitch stream highlights. And I have now, since then, stopped doing that as well because it just was not very fruitful. It's not something that, personally, I think is going to grow the YouTube, and by extension, grow me as a creator in everywhere else that I create content. Many of you know that I am a huge Star Wars fan. Okay, the shirt wasn't intentional. I have a great friend that I met through Twitch. We actually were playing Apex Legends together in a tournament. His name is Jono. It's Jono Streams on Twitch. I'm going to leave a link to his Twitch down in the description below. Make sure you go drop him a follow. I know he'd appreciate that. He's been trying to get me into a game called SWTOR that I really didn't know much about. It's Star Wars: The Old Republic. I gave in and tried it towards the end of July, and I gotta be honest with you, it's been a terrific balance to what is left of my mental stability. I love Apex Legends, but they've still got so many kinks they need to work out right now that playing it competitively is almost a joke, to be honest with you. With that balanced with SWTOR, I'm now actually a lot more like, oh, I'm going back to enjoying streaming rather than looking at it as potentially a chore, which can sometimes happen anyway, but it's less often now. I also experienced my first ever surprise gift. I decided to finally take some advice that was given to me and create an Amazon wish list that I don't promote or talk about a lot, but it is available on my Twitch with the command so that people can look at it, and if they wanted to help by buying a piece of equipment, or in this case, buying a book that I've been desperate to have for a while, they can do that. And I was blown away. It was really cool. It was like having Christmas in the middle of July, which is pretty much true anyway if you go to Walmart. Receiving that book not only was just the coolest thing ever as far as receiving a gift like that out of the blue, but it also inspired me to get back into reading more so that I could balance my thirst for knowledge that I was going to kind of quench with college with reading books that would help me continue to further my content creation career. Last thing I want to say before I even show you the statistics on Twitch and YouTube is that I attempted a 24-hour stream, and I got to level with you real quick. I didn't make it. I honestly learned so much from doing that, and I want to share it with you really quick, just in case you're curious and want to do a 24-hour stream yourself. I'm going to kind of just give you the quick Spark Notes version, which is 2 major points. The first one is that caffeine is definitely tremendously helpful. I was awake for 21.75 hours, which is insane for me. It's not something I can really do easily anymore. Caffeine definitely helped, but what doesn't help, and this is what killed it, was that I had way too much crappy food that I was just kind of grazing on throughout it. If I hadn't been doing that, if I had been mindful and kind of been eating what I normally would have eaten at more regular intervals and stopped at the time I normally would have stopped, I probably would have been fine. Because I really wasn't tired when I went off stream. I was just really, really, really sick and nauseous. Just awful. So, there. Take that for what it's worth. Overall, as you can see, the stats were kind of in the category as far as growth on Twitch, but I attribute that mostly to the fact that I've been making a lot of changes the last couple of months, and that's kind of to be expected. I wouldn't want to be trying to keep up with a guy who constantly makes changes to his channel, so I can't blame you for doing that either. But going forward with no perceivable changes in the future, I stream Monday through Friday, both morning and evening streams, except for Tuesday nights. Make sure you check the video description below for my Twitch link. Drop a follow while you're there. I'd love to get to know you a little bit better through the live streaming portion of what I do. Moving on to the YouTube, we can definitely see a more severe version of what we saw on Twitch, a down spike in growth. Again, I'm not really surprised. YouTube, honestly, has taken it worse than Twitch has. I at least continue to stream. YouTube, there are times where I just stop making videos because I don't know what to do. So, let's touch on that for a minute. I really need your help. I need to know what kinds of content you have all enjoyed watching, those of you that are watching this video right now, something that you can think of that maybe I would do well. I haven't tried it yet, but you're like, I think I would like seeing him try this, or hey, you've done this in the past and I'd love to see you do this again. Whatever those things are, please take just a couple minutes of your time and drop a comment down below. If I leave a heart on your particular comment, know that that is something that I will begin to develop immediately. I love the idea that our community can help me create as much as I can create things. I really do need your help. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to do that, it would bless me beyond measure. You really don't know how much it would mean to me. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave it a like. You can also check the description for all of my social medias compiled into one link, as well as our Discord that I would love to see you join so that I can interact with you throughout the week. Until next time, this is Gaming for Hope, and I am signing off.